Hey everybody, welcome to the Morning Devo with Bo Let's my name. It's October 19th. These are my devotion times, and I get to do it with you, which I'm totally stoked. I get to include you guys in my devotions. I go through the Bible in my devotions, so it's a little different from a lot of people's devotions. They might pick up a book by Oswald Chambers or, at Utmost for His Highest. That's a famous devotional. There's different kinds of devotions, just all kinds of different authors of them and how they organize the scriptures kind of throughout the day, throughout the year. But I tend to just actually open up the Bible and read through it. And the fun thing is I'm a Generation X kid, born in Southern California, grew up in San Fernando and Ventura counties. So Los Angeles County, Ventura County. And, just a product of my culture, right? Very secular, very atheistic in a lot of ways. Lo and behold, one day, after all the influence of reggae and music and Metallica and Iron Maiden and, gosh, you start hearing about the Bible through lyrics and songs and music and culture. And you always go, man, I wonder what they do in those churches. I wonder what that's about, And being more secular progressive, I was my father was very against it. My mom was very pro. I think she was very for kind of church culture. But my dad kind of dominated it seems like the world that we were in. He was so chaotic when we were growing up that his secular progressive nature just came out, very, very Marxist, very socialist. So those were my backgrounds out in Southern California. And it's funny how you read the Bible when I was a late teenager and how things just change, how different paradigms hit you. And you start looking at your world and you go, wow, this makes sense. This makes much more sense than the other worldview, which made no sense, right? If there is no God, then guess what? You're just like a lion, and you're just like a bear, and no one criticizes the lion and the bear for doing what they do, so to speak, right? But we have all these things going on in our heads. We think about ethics, morality, right? Rights, wrongs, the way we talk, the laws that are even in our language, right? The laws of logic. Where do these things come from? Why is it that we have these things? Why do we even have the idea of God in our mind? Where's that even come from? And it doesn't make sense that it's just from nothing like that. When you say that, then literally there is nothing. There is no meaning. There is no purpose at all. And that's weird because I just couldn't live that way. No one can. And so I certainly was a walking contradiction, like so many of us, right? So anyway, just reading through the Bible, Psalm 60, 61 is where I'm at right now. So anyway, sorry to go on that little tangent, but just to give you a little background on me. Beau Willette's my name. You could always check out the archives at my YouTube channel at Beau Willette. Just type in Beau Willette in the search bar and you'll get to him. So let's get into it. And let's see who we got in the comment corner. We got Paula already there. Casey's already there. Right on. Casey's been up since, 4 in the morning already, probably. She's probably already ran a couple miles, worked out, went to work, came back, eating lunch. Anyway, here we go. Psalm 60. For the choir director, a psalm of David, useful for teaching regarding the time David fought Aram and a few Arams. It says, and Joab returned and killed 12,000 Edomites in the valley of Salt, to be sung to the tune Lily of the Testimony. So cool. That's the tune it's to be sung to. And it has a backdrop, right? Life of King David, the time of war, right? The time where Joab, it says, returned and killed 12,000 Edomites. That is mind-boggling. Think of our current situation out with Israel. Think of, the people that have lost their lives there. And you read this and you go, 12,000 Edomites? Wow. So you have rejected us, O God, and broken our defenses. You have been angry with us. Now restore us to your favor. Sounds kind of like military, like we're not doing good. God, are you really for us or not? Sometimes we get into thoughts like that, right? I don't think God's for us. Things aren't going too good in life. That happens all the time, I think. Happens in a lot of cultures as well. Calamity strikes, God's mad kind of thing. You have shaken our land and split it open, sealed the cracks, for the land trembles. You have been very hard on us, making us drink wine that sent us reeling. Ugh, bad wine, right? Sent them into a stupor. But you have raised a banner for those who fear you, a rallying point in the face of attack. But God, you're coming through. You're showing us your light. Seems like you're against us, God. You ain't really for us. But you know what? Here we go. You have raised a banner for those who fear you. Kind of raised a banner, a flag, right? Hey, we're, God's on our side kind of thing. A rallying point. Nothing like a good rally, right? Get you pumped up. I always think of those pep rallies in school, where they kind of all push you into a basketball gym, and then there would be this big kind of pep rally thing. And I wasn't too into that myself, but I had a brother who played basketball in the high school, and so that was super fun just to see him. And because he usually was paraded out there as part of the basketball team and all that stuff. But anyway, it's cool to be a part of a rally, especially a rally when you need to rally, meaning when you need to start, turning the tide, right? Things aren't going too well. And so we're starting to rally. We're starting to, get it together. We're starting to get it going. And, that's sometimes how life is too, where you're starting to feel like you're rallying, you're coming back, you're finally off the canvas, you got knocked down, but now you're rallying, you're getting back up. It says, now rescue your beloved people, answer and save us by your power. It's kind of cool. Save us by your power, not my power. I'm kind of powerless, right? But God's powerful. It's amazing how us humans tend to think we're really powerful. But really, how much power do we have? You know what blows me away too is just thinking how small we are, like in the universe and in the galaxy. We're such a tiny speck, yet these tiny specks make weapons to kill each other. Unbelievable. Just think how tiny those weapons look. Everything's so small. We're so tiny. We're so, you got to look into some little device in order to see us. We're so small. And that it amazes me that we would, use our precious life to harm one another. Wow. Just shows how messed up we are, man. We need rescuing big time. Not by our power, because it's absolutely not there. Today I want to just remember that it's God's power that saves me. God has promised this by His holiness. What a cool character. The best character of God, right? His holiness. He is holy. He is separate from me. He is different from me. He is whole. Whole, like as in whole. Like He is the whole thing. And I'm not. It says, I will divide up Shechem with joy. I will measure out the valley of Sukkoth. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh too. Ephraim, my helmet, will produce my warriors. And Judah, my scepter, will produce my kings. Remember, right? Judah, the kingly line. Jesus comes from the line of what? Judah. That's right. Remember Judah too? We've been wanting to hear about Judah because we know Judah is going to come the promised child. So whenever we hear Judah, we should spark up. Wait, that promised child was done all the way on page 2 of the Bible. So we've been waiting to see who this child's going to be. Who's going to what? Conquer Satan, deal with the issues of our lives, blah, blah, blah. Reverse the curse that happened. So it's kind of, we've been waiting for this for a long time. Yeah. So Judah, kingly tribe, right? And it says, but Moab, my wash basin, will become my servant, and I will wipe my feet on Edom and shout in triumph over Philistia. Wow. Those are some interesting. Moab, Edom, Philistia. Sounds a lot like the Philistines. That sounds a lot like Palestine in a way too. Philistines, Palestine. Interesting, huh? How there is a history to what's going on right now. And it is a shocker to go in the past, go into history, see where the people are from today, how they relate to the people of Israel, the different groups that have been there. Moab, Edom, all related to Israel, by the way, right? So very interesting. Who will bring me into the fortified city? Who will bring me victory over Edom? Have you rejected us, O God? Will you no longer march with our armies? Oh, please help us against our enemies, for all human help is useless. With God's help, we will do mighty things, for he will trample down our foes. Kind of very, that New Testament passage that says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Remember that? I can do all things. You kind of get the vibe of that in this psalm. Everything's useless without you, God, but with you, man, we can do all things, right? We can conquer the enemy. There's hope. And that's the amazing thing is the more we focus on God, who's able to, because God is God. God is more powerful than anything. Our sins, that's right. I might feel horrible about my sin, but yet God is more powerful to conquer those sins, to forgive, right? His forgiveness is greater. And so it's a cool psalm, really about our needing of him, our powerlessness, So Psalm 60 is kind of like, hey, God, we're powerless. We're in a war. We need you. You're the best. You're the greatest. You're the most powerful. You're holy. You're holy. You're not like us, all tweaked, And so we're excited, God, that you're on our side. So Psalm 61 says, "O God, listen to my cry. Hear my prayer. From the ends of the earth I cry to help." And by the way, this is a psalm of David. From the ends of the earth I cry to you for help when my heart is overwhelmed. Hear my cry, O Lord, attend unto my prayer. From the ends of the earth will I cry unto thee, right? And when my heart is overwhelmed, please lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Yeah, Psalm 61. Very cool, right? So from the ends of the earth I cry to you when my heart is overwhelmed. Oh man. Our hearts can be really overwhelmed by a lot of things. Maybe today your heart is very overwhelmed today. Well, King David's was as well. He says, lead me to the towering rock for safety. The place of security, that place that's immovable kind of idea. You're in an earthquake, man, you can really feel the earth move, right? Even the things that you think are the most stable, the ground, can really no longer be stable. It's unbelievable. But yeah, the earth can move where the ground, everything that you feel is literally gone, and you are no longer feeling what you are used to feeling. It's the most weirdest, unique feeling that I've ever experienced was a large earthquake. And yeah, all you want is stability, a solid foundation. And David's crying out to God, right? He's saying, I need to cry to you, right? From the ends of the earth, I cry to you for help. Wow, sounds very desperate. And he says, for you are a safe refuge, a fortress where my enemies cannot reach me. You are the place. They might do something to my body, but they can't do something to my spirit, right? And that's kind of what Jesus talked about. Don't fear the one who can what? Kill your body, right? Don't fear that, But there's something far more important than our bodies that are dying, and that is, the soul, right? This kind of soul that has this eternity with it. And Jesus said that is the most important thing. So, some people might hurt us. Our bodies might be really going through a lot. But yet, Paul the Apostle said our inward being, our soul, can be strengthened. Wow, that's cool. So that's what we're doing here by just getting our minds upward. And again, that's what the Psalms are about. Let me live forever in your sanctuary, safe beneath the shelter of your wings. Again, David uses this idea of under the wings of a bird, like a mother hen kind of feel, right? An eagle mom, I guess, taking care of the eggs and stuff. You've seen that even in where we live in the desert. You see these birds taking care of their little eggs. It's so cute in the nests that they build all over our homes. For you have heard my vows, O God. You have given me an inheritance reserved for those who fear your name, and many years to the life of the king. Many his years span the generations. He may reign under God's protection forever. Or may he reign. May your unfailing love and faithfulness watch over him. Then I will sing praises to your name forever as I fulfill my vows each day. It's interesting how David talks, because he talks about, kind of the present. I'm fulfilling my vows before you. I'm offering things to you. I'm thinking of you. I'm, wanting to obey your word. There's kind of that presence. Then they're present, and then there's this future idea of, God, you're gonna keep my kingly line going. Lord, I will reign forever. My years will span the generations. I'm going to continue to live, Lord, for eternity. It's going to be amazing. And you kind of just go, whoa, this guy's brain, man, he really understood so many cool concepts about God. The eternity of dwelling with God, how that is an eternal dwelling, since God is eternal. David sees that his kingly reign is something that is continuing on. It will be progressive. It'll be a part of God's plan for the ages. And he always refers to God's unfailing love. We see that as being a theme now in the Psalms of David, where it's always God's unfailing love. Because of your unfailing love, I'll sing praises to you because your unfailing love. You're always there. You're always there for me. No matter what, you're always there. And boy, those are just cool thoughts always to think about. Sometimes people will come up to me and just be for prayer, and they'll say, hey, I don't even know if God's for me. What, man? You don't know if God's for you? Man, his unfailing love. Unfailing, right? You might fail, right? But it says this is love in 1 John, right? This is love. Not that you loved God, but that God loved you and sent his son to die for you. So God has an amazing love. David is crying out to God. He's got his issues. He's got his problems. He's got his frailties. He sees his yuck. Yet he looks upward. He always goes upward for help, right? Not outward, but upward. Dealing with those inner things in his heart. Really cool. So Psalm 60 is one of going, God, we're kind of useless without you. We kind of need you. And Psalm 61 is one of running to God, right, for help. Relying on his unfailing love. And that his future hope that he has for us, our inheritance. It's in Christ, right? He's the one who has won our righteousness. Jesus. Anything we inherit is in Christ. And this is how the New Testament speaks. Jesus is the Son. He's the inheritance. He gets all the inheritance of the Father. But we're buddies with the Son. Not just buddies, but we've been put into the family. And that's very cool. So we receive an inheritance as well. Very cool thoughts all the way back in the Psalms, 1,000 years before Jesus, but very cool for us today to just remember, I'm powerless and I need to run to Christ. Those are two things that I could definitely take home to the bank. So, hey, hope you had a great time just on the Devo, learn some stuff, get some good stuff out of them. And Paula, Casey, thanks for hanging out. And we'll see you guys next time, okay? Tomorrow, Lord willing. Bye-bye.